Okay, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, it's Joel and Kathy here with GodSaveMyMarriage.com. We're here to share a little bit about our evening conference calls, and so you can join them and get help for your marriage. So, amen.
If you need to get help on your marriage, we want you to dial in. You know, Kathy, we've been doing these phone calls for probably 18 years now.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. We used to do one-on-one counseling all the time. Then we'd counsel a couple, hang up, counsel another, hang up. And we did that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, this room where lots of people can join in. You know, back in the day we first started, we'd have anywhere between 20, sometimes 25 people on the call. We would start at 9 p.m. and go sometimes to like midnight, 1, 2. Sometimes, I don't know, I think there were a few occasions like 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
I mean, we were just busy and jam-packed with people. We didn't want anybody to get off the call without getting help. So, needless to say, we don't do that now, that length of time. And back then it was 6 days a week. Oh my gosh. The one day off was date night for our couples. But anyways.
Yeah. So, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
With Brian and Charlotte out of Wisconsin. They're praise and worship leaders, and they're leaders of the kind of like the church that they're in charge of.
Yeah, they actually have a church now.
And so that's at
Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
That's right.
Tuesday night is yours truly, Joel and Kathy.
That's right.
9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday night we have 2 couples. We have Jacqueline and Cameron, and we have Kent and Annette. And both Jacqueline and Cameron, when they found the ministry, they were separated. Brian and Charlotte, by the way, when they found the ministry, they were separated under the same roof, and she'd been trying to get them to come to a marriage intensive for 7 years, and finally she said, we'll live together under the same roof, but we won't have sex. We'll be like we're not married. He's like, tell me about that marriage intensive. That was 5 years. 5 years she was trying to get them to come.
Yeah, for 5. Yeah.
And so
But that was on Thursday nights, and Saturday nights is.
Yeah, and of course that was Brian and Charlotte. I was sharing about
the
coming to the intensive and talked to her for about 5 years. Jacqueline and Cameron were totally separated, he was in a hotel. She was going to divorce him, and somebody encouraged them to come to our 5-day intensive. They came, got a wonderful miracle, just like Brian and Charlotte did.
Absolutely.
And then Kent and Annette was a counselor for years. And her and Kent needed some help in their marriage, so they came to an intensive, and they had us come into a seminar out in New York, and they help on our Thursday night calls along with Jacqueline and Cameron. And
then they also run their own call on Saturday nights.
Yep, every other Saturday night. Kent and Annette do every other Saturday night, and Michael and Annalea do every other Saturday night.
That's right.
Michael and Annalea is a cool story. They got their miracle way back in 2007. At their marriage intensive. They came from California to Palm Coast, Florida. Got a wonderful miracle. They helped on our phone calls for about 5 years. And then they got tired. Their kids were young, children were young. And they actually conducted marriage intensives for us for a while in California. And then they had to just stop. And so they say, we got to retire.
They did for how long?
5 years.
About 5 years. And then they had to stop and focus in on their kids. You know? It was just time to focus in on family.
Amen. And they called here about a year or so back, and they said, hey, Joel and Kathy, the children are grown. We really feel like we'd love to come help couples again, and can we come be a part of the ministry again? We're like, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course, we'd stayed in touch through the years. One time we were in California on a trip, and they came to visit us at the resort there, and one time they were in Orlando, and we went over to visit them while they were visiting in Orlando. So they are every other Saturday night, and then they share with Kent and Annette on every other Saturday night also. So if you need help in your marriage, don't just sit there and feel helpless. There is help available to you.
Well, I think about the story of the 2 lepers sitting outside the side, the gate, I think it was Gate Beautiful. And they were sitting out there without any food, and they go, do we sit here and die?
Why sit here till we die?
Why sit here till we die? Or do we go in and take the chance that we could die? So they decided, you know what, if we sit here, we're going to die of starvation, no water, no food, we might as well go on in. So they go in, and the army is gone. No one is there. They got the plunder. So don't sit here until you die. Don't let your marriage die. Don't sit outside that gate. Reach out, pull open that gate, and say, Joel and Kathy, we need help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's help available for you. If you're a pastor or a ministry leader, call in. use a fake name. We don't care. We don't care if
You
you're...
could be Pebbles and Bam Bam. We
Yeah.
don't care.
And it doesn't matter how well-known you are or unknown you are. I mean, you could
Yeah.
be Joel and Victoria Osteen if you're having troubles in your marriage, which you're probably not. But if you are, you don't have to call up and say, this is Joel and Victoria Osteen. You can call up and say, this is Pebbles and Bam Bam.
That's right.
And we
Or
will...
Fred and Wilma.
Fred and Wilma, absolutely. But you'll receive help for your marriage.
Yeah.
Other couples will be on there. You can dial in. You can listen to them get help. And then when we're helping you, other couples are getting help at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool, Kathy. It's like, there's really not any new marriage troubles.
No.
Pretty much every trouble couples have are duplicate problems, marriage troubles.
So while you're getting help, others are listening in, getting the answers they too. So whatever answer you're getting through the ministry here, somebody else is listening in going, oh, that's our problem. That's the answer. And then while we're helping someone else, you're listening in, and you may hear a solution to your problem because we'll be discussing maybe that problem with them. But everybody has this. There's only so many marriage issues, and so we just kind of cover them all. So you'll get your answers on there.
Yeah, we're a very transparent ministry.
Yeah.
The reason we do public phone calls like that in a group setting is so that you realize that your marriage problems aren't special. When somebody just goes to a private marriage counselor year after year after year, they start to think that they're in their own little warp zone, that their problems are unusual, their problems are unique. Well, your problems are not unique.
No.
They might be serious. They might be traumatic. You might be under a lot of pressure. You might be feeling like you're at the end of your rope. Somebody might feel like committing suicide right now. Somebody that's watching might have already filed divorce. Somebody might be watching that you have a boyfriend, or a man has a girlfriend, a woman has a boyfriend, a man has a girlfriend, or God forbid, a man might have a boyfriend or whatever. We did have a couple one time. The man had been into adultery with a man for 3 years. They got a wonderful miracle in their marriage.
Tremendous miracle.
It's been 10 years ago now. They came to their 5-day intensive, got their miracle. They're living happily ever
Him
after.
and his wife are happy.
Absolutely.
Very, very happy.
So we've helped every type of couple. In 20 years, helping couples full-time in marriage ministry, we've helped every type of couple with every type of problem.
That's right.
Sometimes people get bothered because we say narcissists can change. Well, the facts are narcissists can change. And it takes a lot of work, but we don't want the wife to have to do all that work. That's why we have the phone calls 4 nights a week.
Well, for every situation in life, God always has an answer.
Absolutely.
So when you hear the secular community or the community of counselors say that narcissists can't change, they've not consulted God on the issue.
Yes.
Because with every